Hello students, welcome to this particular class. I am Dr. Asharata Shankar Teda from JSS Art Science Commerce College, Koka. We have already finished up with the first generation poetry and the second generation poetry of the Romantic Age. So today we will be focusing on the minor poets of the Romantic Age. So here are the members of the Romantic minor poets. Thomas Moore. So, he is one of the famous Irish poet. He was born on May 28, 1779 in Dublin, Ireland. He is known as a poet, translator, and a singer. His works are The Harp That Once, Through Tara Halls, Believe Me, If All Those Enduring, Young Charms, The Meeting of the Waters, made him immensely popular. All these ballads were published under the Irish Melodies. And Lalla Rukha, 1817, is the popular poem. So we have Thomas Campbell. He was born in Glasgow, Scotland in July 1777. He was the youngest child of Alexander Campbell, professor and a tobacco importer. Campbell showed talent for writing at young age. He won many prizes at Glasgow University for debate. You can see some of the major works, The Pleasure of Hope. Then you can see his work, Gertrude of Wyoming, and he wrote biographies of actress Sarah Suddens. He was also one of the initiators of the plan to found what became University College London. So you can see he also produced several stirring patriotic war songs, and he is known for some of the songs that have been depicted here. He had become one of the Scotland's most admired literary figure. Then we have Thomas Hood. He is an English poet, author, humorist, best known for the poems The Bridge of the Sighs. Then he is also a humorist. He was born in London. You can see, you can notice the list here: the London Magazine, the Athenaeum and Punch. He married Jane and collaborated on odes and addresses with his brother-in-law. You can see he worked as an engraver. He contributed humorous and poetical pieces to provincial newspapers and magazines. He wrote humorously on many contemporary issues. One of the most important issues in the time was grave robbing and selling. You can see there have been some of these works: Whims and Oddities, Odes and Address to Great, The Plea of the Midsummer Fairies, Hero and Leander, Lycos and the Senator and the poems. He is also known for the Dream of Eugenie Aram and the Murder. You have got another writer, George Darley. He was born in Dublin. You can see he is a poet and a critic. And he was important, Darley was an important Dublin family there. And you can see the works which have been just noticed here. His first poem is Errors of ecstasy, and in his unfinished lyrical epic Nepenthe of a symbolic dream world, long regarded as unreadable, this epic came to be admired in the 20th century for its dream imagery. See, he has using symbolism there. Then you have got James Hogg. Look at the picture. James Hogg was a Scottish poet, novelist, essayist who wrote in both Scots and English. And you can see he was a man of much natural ability, and from his infancy he was an eager listener to the songs and the ballads. He is known for his poetic works Scottish Pastorals, The Shepherd's Guide, The Mountain Bard, The Forest Minstrel, and The Queen's Wake, The Pilgrims of the Sun, and The Mender of the Moor. So these are the works of him. He is also best known today for his novel The Private Memoirs and the Confessions of a Justified Sinner. You can see The Queen's Wake, his collection of songs, Jacobite Relics, his two other novels, The Three Perils of Man and The Three Perils of the Woman. You have another important writer, Samuel Rogus, was born on 30th July 1763, and he was an English poet during his lifetime, one of the most celebrated, although his fame has long since been eclipsed by his romantic colleague and friends Wordsworth, Coleridge and Byron. And you can see he was a very generous patron of the man of letters and was acquainted with most of the literary people. He is known for the Pleasures of the Memory. The Pleasures of Memory, which has been a very significant work. His other works are Columbus, he has been noted for that. Then Jacqueline, it's a tale in the barren manner, and Italy, of which second part is engraved in 1828. A few narrative poems and the ballads are included in the wake or of the lasting value. Among them are the Chimney, The Witch of the Fire. Probably more important works is Hobbes' novel. So you can see the next writer, James Henry Lehant. He was born in 1859, best known as Lehant, an English critic, essayist and a poet. He became journalist in his young age. His radical journal, The Examiner, it was the name of a paper, a leading intellectual journal. It is a journal like expounding radical principles. He was the center of the Hampstead-based group that included William Hazlitt, Charles Lamb, known as Hunt Circle. Hunt also introduced John Keats, Percy Bysshe Shelley, Robert Browning and Alfred Lord Tennyson to the public. He was also the author of a novel and several plays, two of which, A Legend of the Florence Lovers' Amusement in 1858, were produced during his lifetime. Then you have got John Clare. He was an English poet. John Clare, a true peasant poet, and his day he had a great popularity. After his death, his works fell into neglect, and his father being crippled, and at the age of 13, he saved sufficient money to do a copy of The Seasons, which fired his poetic ability. His publications, poems descriptive of rural life and the scenery, was much praised, but later collections, The Village Minstrel, The Shepherd's Calendar, and The Rural Muse, has not the same success. Clay's poems are best known when they deal with the simple rustic themes. You can see Clare was also inspired to write his first poem, The Morning Walk, after reading James Thomson's Seasons. So you can see there has been the description of the rural life and the scenery. So he rejoiced in the ways of the writing about the animals and the insects. So you have lastly conclusion. Poetry was regarded as conveying its own truth. Sincerity was the criterion by which it was to be judged. Minor poets expressed their power of imagination in their writings, and these poets reflected wonder, then self-expression over the classical standards of the things. You can see these were the poets. So you are seeing Thomas Moore, Thomas Campbell, Thomas Hood, George Darling, James Hogg, Samuel Roger, Leigh Hunt, John Clare. They are to be termed as the minor romantic poets, particularly of the Romantic age, or you can call them as minor poets of the Romantic age. So thank you, students.